Crozer Health hospitals will stay open, but not for that long. Meanwhile, about $30,000 in counterfeit cosmetics and Sharpie pens were seized. The Pennsylvania Lottery wants to offer more games with bigger payouts. Finally, on the bad side of the cemetery, a banshee screams. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and you're listening to Today in PA. Officials initially confirmed on Tuesday that new funding would keep Crozer Health's facilities in Delaware County open for up to 6 weeks, reports CBS Local Philadelphia. But now, an attorney for the company that owns the hospitals, Prospect Medical Holdings, says that the money that's keeping the lights on might run out sooner, meaning these locations could only stay open for 2 weeks. This podcast has previously covered the ailing health system's issues as Prospect Medical files for bankruptcy and what that means to the community the health system services. Like the big question, what happens after that 2 weeks? This is a developing story as of the recording of this episode. U.S. Customs and Border Protection seized almost $30,000 in counterfeit cosmetics and Sharpie pens headed to places in the Lehigh Valley and Berks County over the last month or so, reports the Morning Call. According to a news release published Tuesday, these bogus items, which included fake Estee Lauder face and neck creams, SkinCeuticals, and other high-end skincare, along with the Sharpies of course, were shipped from China. Apart from not being what they're presented as, counterfeit cosmetics can run the risk of having chemicals that cause cancer and other health issues, says Customs Director for the Port of Philadelphia, Cletus P. Hunt Jr., quote, Customs and Border Protection urges you to protect your families by purchasing authentic consumer products from reputable retailers. The Pennsylvania Lottery wants to offer people more games that could win them bigger payouts, states the Tribune Review, like the $50 and $30 scratch-offs. By doing this, the lottery believes that it'll attract more customers and, by default, make more money, which will then go toward benefiting Pennsylvania's elderly. But high payouts can cut into profits, and the organization is required to make an at least 20% profit from traditional game sales. The 2025-26 state budget is actually calling on officials to get rid of this profit margin requirement. And just to be clear, if the lottery does expand its game offerings, it won't change the likelihood of people winning. Wildwood Cemetery in Williamsport is bisected by a road into 2 sides, says PennLive. The good side, which is said to have fairies, and the bad side. That's where the banshee lives. For those unfamiliar, the banshee is a terrifying figure from Irish folklore, a death omen whose cries precede someone dying. As for how one ended up in Williamsport, well, that can't truly be said, but the construction of a canal in the 19th century drew a lot of Irish workers at the same time the cemetery was incorporated. If you'd like to read about this legend in full, please be sure to click on the article link. And to check out Paranormal PA, please. That wraps up today's episode. For even more news, visit PennLive.com. Also, please don't forget to leave this podcast a rating and maybe even email me at todayinpa@PennLive.com with any thoughts you may have. Thanks ahead of time, and of course, thanks for listening. I'm Claudia Dimuro, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more Today in PA.